Today we are going to take a look on some kind of information that is from one of our candidates, one of our successful candidates particularly. She has taken IELTS from us, and she has attempted IELTS, and she has got 8887 band in her IELTS. And we are going to ask these all details from our candidate, right? Her name is Mavish, and she'll be sharing her experience. What was it all about? I mean, how did she manage to get 888 and 7 band? So how are you, Mavish?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good.
All right, that's
Fine.
good. Mavish, can you please tell me, like, how many times had you attempted IELTS before getting this 8887 band?
Yeah, I attempted 2 times. The first time I attempted, I just didn't do anything. I just booked my IELTS and went to take this test.
Hmm.
So without any preparation, without anything, I just took the test and I got overall 7 bands. My listening was 6 and reading was 7, writing was 6.5, 6.5, and speaking was 8.5.
Hmm.
That was a score I got.
All
Then I decided that this IELTS is not the thing that, yeah, IELTS not the thing that you will go and you'll take it by any without any preparation. Even though if you have your mother tongue is English or not, it's not necessary. You need to practice some IELTS tips and structure. You need to know how to do it. So that I joined one institute. I joined for the writing, especially for the writing part, because I thought that my writing is very good. I'm just a blog writer also. I wrote articles. So, but in IELTS test, I got 6.5. That was so disappointing for me. I didn't know that what are the weaknesses, what are the things that the weak areas that I'm lacking. I'm lacking this scores. So what I did, I just took the classes. But after taking these writing classes, also I didn't improve. I took my IELTS second time, and again my score was improved in listening, in reading, and in speaking. But in writing, the same 6.5. I didn't improve my writing. And the tips there that were given to me by the IELTS instructor was journal tips. Okay, write in an essay form, do like this, paragraph form like this, that we teach with others to our school student or graduate student or school students. I was not satisfied, but then after that I heard about you, and then I took my class you in a writing session. Then I got to know that these are the tips that we were not taught before. And when you told me the structure, or this agree or disagree, what to do, how to attempt the discursive essay and the forms of the essay and the language and the structure, then I did the practice. I will admit that I didn't do that much practice that I was supposed to. I just did only 2 times. I just wrote essay and follow your trick and tips and structure. And then I attempted again third time. And Alhamdulillah, again when I attempted, even though I did some writing mistakes also in my writing part, it was just misfortunate for me, because some of the spelling errors I did, just because I didn't get much time to review my writing part. And
Hmm.
but overall, Alhamdulillah, I didn't accept that I will get 7 bands, and I got 7 bands, and I was so happy. So I will admit that if I would have done so more practice, and if I would have reviewed my paper on time while attempting, and if I would have avoided the spelling errors and all this. I could have got 8 bands or
Hmm.
7.5.
All right,
So
that's
these
good.
tricks and tips are very important. Yeah.
That's thank you very much for praising. Mavish, I just want to know, like, when you started learning with me all these things,
Hmm.
before that, did you know anything or most of the things which we taught you, which I taught you in the writing sessions?
My prior knowledge about this, about writing.
I mean, what was the difference? What was
Yeah.
the difference you found in my teaching and you took, some other classes from other places?
Yeah, there is much big difference. When I was taking my classes, writing classes with other teacher, he didn't guide us how to divide the number of words in paragraph form, and how to write the introductory paragraph, where you should state your statement, and where you should like tell your opinion, and where you should avoid your opinion also, and should you agree, should you disagree, and how to design your ideas, how to structure them, in which paragraph which ideas should discuss, and all these things. So it's kind of if you don't have a proper structure, you don't have a proper framework to write down, then I don't think so that you will be able to get proper IELTS score bands. And these were the things that were not taught by the other teachers. And even
Right.
on YouTube, I searched on YouTube,
Yes, I
I
want to
searched
ask,
articles
you know,
also
I
on
want to ask
IELTS
this
writing. I
thing.
didn't find anything. Yeah.
I just want to ask this thing. You know,
Hmm.
many of my candidates, many of other candidates who, join me, they think that there are many things available on internet, especially on YouTube. There are so many IELTS gurus. They try to attract candidates with some magical tips, magical things. So is that so? I mean, what do you recommend for those kind of students who are always after online stuff? I mean, they go for the YouTube channels and they try to learn from these kind of. Is it worthy?
I'll share my experience when I was going for the YouTube channels and the articles, right, and these IELTS sample writing, and these material that were available on the internet. They just show you the sample of the writing, and one or two types of samples. But when you can't just prepare for just looking at the sample or looking at the tips. They will say you, okay, write this, and you can't do otherwise if you will not have a proper structure and all this. What is the difference that I have experienced when I was learning from you? There are 7 types of essay in IELTS writing that I didn't know before. 7 types of essays, and there are 2 types of writing. How to attempt these 2 types of structure that I didn't know before, and it's not being taught on online, or like YouTube and these resources, internet. It's not available. And these how to just devise your number of words in the different paragraphs. These are the techniques that are not being taught there, and that are not available. So these techniques are very important. They are inevitable when you write, and you don't have any idea how much marks you need, how many words you need in writing introductory paragraph, how many words you need in body paragraphs, how to conclude, and all these things. So
All
I
right.
don't think so that you'll be able to get
All
schools,
right.
and these informations are not available on internet.
I understand. All right.
Mm.
Okay. What about, some of my candidates would be, amazed to see that you got 8 band in your speaking. You got,
Hmm.
8 band overall. So what do you say? What do
Uh,
you
hmm.
recommend, or what do you advise them to do for improvement of their writing and speaking? What should they do? They should follow the tips which I recommend, or they should do something extra than those tips?
They should follow the tips that you recommended, because these tips are enough for them. These tips are not so less; they are so much. You need more practice. Yeah. Because what I was doing in my writing, I was just opening your all the tips and the structure that I noted down on my notebook, and then I was just opening that, and I was practicing
Hmm.
right according to this. But I'm just admitting that I didn't do much practice. I just wrote only 2 types of essay that you wrote, only
Mm-hmm.
this, and the other essays I didn't do. I didn't get time, or otherwise I was like so for for the practice, for the tips that you have provided, these are needed, okay? And then you have to be familiar, we have to familiarize yourself, that so that you will not forget these tips while you are attempting the paper. But the other thing is that your English counts much. You have already guided us that you need to find out synonyms, you need to use complex sentences, the conditional sentences, also grammar, all these things. These are the things that when you will practice, then you can do this. So,
Hmm.
and for the speaking part is the same thing, that you need to familiarize yourself with all the kind of the topics they will ask. Like for me, like if they will ask about the sports, I'm not aware of the sports, but I know that this topic can come, so that I just I just found out the information related to that, so that if I will get this topic, I will be able to speak on that.
Mm-hmm.
So for speaking partners, you need to familiarize yourself all kind of the topics they can ask, and you should be fluent, and you should use linking words, and you should be you should not be nervous. You should be confident, so that I think
Hmm.
you'll get
Right.
your desired balance. Yeah.
Right, right, right. Okay. There's one thing. Students, what students do is, or the candidates do, they
Hmm.
try to learn with different two things. Is it a wise decision for any candidate to follow two different things, two different directions, or two different trainers, I would say?
I don't think so that it's advisable. You should follow only one trainer. I have already told you the trainer that I was studying from, that trainer. He didn't guide me well. He was just saying me. It was like out of the way. He was just focusing that only do this, and okay, only just structure journal information. So I was not able to practice more and more. So you should just focus on one trainer. He can, or he or she can understand what are the weaknesses, and he or she can advise you more, and he can tell you the strength or weakness areas. Like for me, when I gave you my writing assessment paper, you just checked it and you told me that these are the weak areas you should work on, then I did it. So only one trainer, I guess, is advisable.
All right. Okay. Now, after these all things, I would like you to tell my candidates what sort of positive things you found from my training.
I think I always recommend you, and because only the few, I think that only the few instructor know this these kind of format or the structure. Only the few.
Mm-hmm.
So luckily I found you, so that I did it. So this is the thing. Proper structure and proper format is very essential
Hmm.
to get good score in writing.
All right. All right. All right.
Mm.
At the end, say something about Sir Jack, and that's it.
Hmm. Yeah, when I was when my IELTS journey is that when I attempted my IELTS, I attempted first time, and I wasn't able to get good score in writing. It was the same as 6.5, and I attempted 1 month IELTS training, uh, and then from an institute, and I did hard work. I wrote so many essays and I practiced, but again in writing I was not able to score higher, and the result was same 6.5. I was so disappointed and demotivated that what's the weakness and what to do. So when I met Sir Jack, he guided me. He just first of all he asked me, okay, to write an essay. When I wrote, then he guided me that ideas and the English and the grammar is correct. But if I will not use it in a proper format, the proper structure, and the number of words, how to divide it, and how to take it, and what's your strategies, so I will not be able to get good marks. So then I did this thing, I improved, and alhamdulillah, I got 7 bands easily. I will say easily because I just practiced only 2 days or 3 days only. And if I would have practiced it, if I had practiced more, like 15 days are essential, are must. You should practice. Okay, this is the least time I'm telling. Otherwise, you should. I will advise you that you should practice 1 month. Then I'm pretty sure that nobody or no hurdle can stop you to get 8 bands in writing. You can easily get 8 bands. So
All right.
I will strongly recommend Sir Jack for
Mm-hmm.
this.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
and for
Thank
other
you.
area, for other modules also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I was
Okay.
talking for the other modules also. For other modules also, the reading and also speaking and listening. The IELTS is the game of the strategies only. You can't get good marks with only your English proficiency, that you can speak well, you can learn, you can study well, or you can read well. But if you don't have the proper strategy how to attempt IELTS and how to attempt the questions in any module, listening, reading, writing, and speaking, you are not able to get good desired bands. So for these strategies, you should have a proper good instructor IELTS trainer, so that you'll be able to get good marks. these strategies and you familiarize yourself with that. So I will recommend SIR JAK for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Mhm.